Hello student, how are you all? I hope you all are doing good and you all are very fine. Yes or no? Okay. So we have completed one topic, that is fiber and fabrics, and we have studied in detail about the different type of fibers produced. Okay, but now we are moving to the next chapter. So now you have to observe this image and you have to tell me what you can say about the path they are following in their motion. Is it a straight path or it is a circular path? What type of path they are following in given image? And now I am giving you 30 seconds to observe this. Okay students, so we can see here that this man is running on a straight line. He is running on a straight path. Okay, so let's suppose this is a path on which this man is running. So this is a straight path. But now when we see the motion of the this needle of the clock, we can say that this is moving in a circular motion. Okay, so we can distinguish easily the motion of this man and also this clock. This man is moving on a straight path, but the needle of this clock, the key of this clock, is moving in a circular direction. So we can make out that the motion can be, for this two diagram, it can be rectilinear and the circular motion. Okay, now we will read what is rectilinear motion. Yes students, so here we can say that the motion possessed by the body moving along a straight line path is called rectilinear path. So any object who is moving in a straight line, such motion can be called as, or that can be noted as, rectilinear motion. Okay, so here in this image also we can see that this train is moving on a straight railway track. Okay, so here also we can say that this train is following the rectilinear motion. Okay, now what about the different type of example of rectilinear motion? So I am giving you 30 seconds again and you can observe this image of example. They are the example of rectilinear motion, and tell me what are the other example you can see around yourself about the rectilinear motion. Okay students, so the first image is of elevator. Okay, so what does elevator do? It takes the person from ground floor to the up floor and from the up floor to the down floor. So this motion is also in a straight line. Okay, now see, some child are playing, they are coming down from an inclined plane. Okay, this is a kind of jhula. So here also the person, the baby, are coming down in a straight path. Okay, now when we throw the ball upside, then it comes down. Okay, so in this also we can say that the path that is followed by the ball is a straight path, and hence we can say that such motion which is following the straight path are called as rectilinear motion. So student, now you have to find out more examples related to rectilinear motions. Around yourself only you have to find. Okay. Now we will see about the circular motion. So circular motion means what? First of all, look at these examples given here. Sun and the planet, earth and the moon, atoms and the electron, circular track and circular ride. And in the first example also we have seen the motion of clock. So what is circular motion? What similarities you can find among these examples? Can you find any type of similarities, students? Yes or no? I am giving you the 30 seconds, don't worry. So yes, students. So in every diagram, in every image, we can see that one body is moving around the other body. Okay. So see the definition. The motion possessed by the body when it moves along a circular path, it is called as circular motion. The motion of child in a merry-go-round, motion of the earth around the sun in a circular orbit. So these are the different examples of circular motion. Now it is the quiz time, and now you have to put the things accordingly as given in the example of motion. So who will tell me the soldier in a march past? Is it a straight line, circular or periodic? And then bullock cart moving on a straight road, hands of the athlete in a race, then pedal of bicycle in the motion, motion of the earth around the sun, motion of the swing, and the motion of a pendulum. And the thing you have to mention it in is that the straight line path, is it a circular line path or is it a periodic line path? So student, basically we have not studied the periodic motion right now, but still we will see what is left, that will be periodic motion. Okay. So students, see the soldier in the march past is a straight line motion. Bullock cart moving on a straight road, it is also a straight line motion, that is rectilinear motion. Now hands of athlete in a race, we don't know still. Pedals in a bicycle in a motion, yes, it is a circular motion. Motion of the earth around the sun, again it is a circular motion. Motion of swing and motion of pendulum, and again the hands of athlete in the race. So these all three come into the category of periodic motion, which we are going to study in the next section of this chapter. So let's see, student, rotational motion and the periodic motion. What is rotational motion? Yes, don't confuse it with the circular motion. I will give you the 30 seconds and then you have to answer this question. Okay, students, so let's see. I will give you one example also. What is rotation? So rotation just means rotating on its own axis, like I am rotating this mobile. Okay, so I am rotating this mobile and it is not rotating around some some another object. Let's see, this is a sun and this it is a earth, and if it is rotating like this around this pen, then it will be called as circular motion. But now what is happening, that this camera, this mobile, is actually rotating on its own axis. Okay, so such motion is known as rotational motion. So sometimes the footballer, what they do, they rotate the ball on their hand like this. Have you seen that? Okay. And the next thing is periodic motion. So have you seen like if you have pendulum clock in your home, otherwise you might have seen such clock in the Ghantaghar of your city. Have you seen that? So here we can see that there is one structure that is known as pendulum, and this pendulum like structure is moving this way and this way. Okay, and when we see its timing from coming from this, from A to B and back to A, then will find that it is always a equal interval of time coming from A to B and again back to A. It is always in an equal interval of time. So such motion is known as periodic motion. Okay, so now we will study. Now you can see this example of rotating fan also. So the motion that is possessed by a body when it spins about a fixed axis is called rotational motion. So in the fan also there is one fixed axis and around which these blades are moving. Okay, so can the other example can be the motion of earth on its own axis. Okay, that is known as rotation. And spinning the top, that is, we can say that lattu, if you know that lattu is there, which is rotating around this, is spinning the top, and the motion of the blades of the fan. So they are the examples of rotational motion. Now coming to the periodic motion, students, so we have learned here that this is a thread like structure, this is a fixed rigid support, and this is known as, the ball is known as bob. Okay, now see why it is known as periodic motion, students, because when the bob goes from A to B and back to A, so every time it takes equal interval of time. So if it takes 5 seconds, okay, if it takes 5 seconds, so for every time whenever it is coming from A to B and back to A, it will take 5 seconds. So such motion is known as periodic motion. Okay, so the motion which repeats itself after a regular interval of time is called periodic motion. The motion of the swing to and fro motion of the simple pendulum. So in the swing, that we know that jhula. Okay, in the swing also it goes this way and come back this way. So moving further, student, I have pasted some of the rotational motion example. So you can observe this image and tell me what you can say. I will give you 30 seconds to verify these examples of rotational motion. Yes, student. So see here, it is a spinning top, so it is the fixed axis, and around this axis this top is moving. So this is example of rotational motion. Here also there is some kind of fixed axis around which it is rotating. So it is example of rotational motion. In the fans or of helicopter also there is one fixed axis over here around which these blades are moving. And now in the case of earth also they are actually tilted. So what is there? Actually they rotate on their axis. That is known as rotation, which makes day and night. Okay, so these are the example of rotational motion. So student, now it is a quiz time and you have to answer the question. Give one example of rotational motion and periodic motion. So I will give you some time. You have to find out the answer, whatever I have taught you in the class. What is the example of rotational and the periodic motion? Okay students, so the example of rotational would be motion of earth and motion of fan blade. Periodic motion, what is the example of periodic motion? That is pendulum and the swing. Okay, so moving to the next part. Now students, see, you all must have seen the slow motion of Raghav Jukwal. So what do you mean by slow motion? Basically what do Raghav do in their dance step? Yes, so basically they do a slow motion which we see as usual that is happening in this around us. Okay, so relating to this concept only, now tell me, this is the image 1 and or A and this is the B. Now you have to tell me which car is faster and why. I will give you some time student, 30 seconds only. See, the position of this yellow color is still the same, this blue color is still the same, the position of red color is still the same, position of white jeep is same, this is also same, but see, this green colored card has moved more faster. Okay, so from this image we can say that this car is faster than other car. Okay, so what do you mean by slow motion and fast motion? An object which takes a long time to cover a certain distance is known as slow, while the other object which takes shorter time to cover the same distance is called fast motion. Okay, so this is a road and A had reached after 5 seconds and we know that if B reached after 10 seconds. So who was faster students? So A was faster. Why it is so? Because it has covered the same distance. See, the same distance in lesser time. Okay, so A is faster than B. Now there is one more example for you student. If your school is at the distance of 5 km from your home and you want to go to the school by bicycle, then it may take about 25 minutes. See, the distance is 5 kilometer, but if you go with bicycle it will take 25 minutes. Okay, and if you go to the school by school bus it will take 10 minutes. So the distance is 5 kilometer, but when you go with the bicycle it will take 25 minutes, and when you go with a school bus it will take 10 minutes. So we can say that a bus is much faster than the bicycle, or we can say bicycle takes longer time than the bus to cover the same distance. Now what is slow and fast? Who will tell me what is slow and fast? Yes, so slow motion is always takes more time to cover same distance. Okay, and reverse will be the definition of fast motion. So today we have discussed about rectilinear and circular motion, periodic and rotational motion, fast and slow motion. So motion in a straight line is known as rectilinear motion. Okay, motion which repeat itself after regular interval of time is known as periodic motion. If A reaches 25 minutes, B reaches in 10 minutes, then which have same distance and who is faster? So B reaches in 10 minutes, so B is faster. Actually the data is hidden by this camera, so I cannot see. So if it is 10, then you can say that B is faster. So now we have to do, you have to bring some homework. You have to make a chart to show different type of motion, and you have to paste the picture of slow and fast motion, okay, that you can see in your nature. So these are your homework, and now we have completed our lesson, and for sure we will meet in next class. Till then, thank you and bye bye.